Welcome back. This week, we're going to deal with a transfer letter. Yeah, so as always, I tell in the beginning the ISBAR policy or how to go about. It is very familiar in my previous videos. So you can watch the videos for all the basic rules, how to write in an ISBAR approach. But today I'm straight away getting to the letter, okay?
Okay.
So this is the letter. When you get the letter, the first thing you need to do is look at the writing task, isn't it? So let's start. Can you read?
Okay.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Using the information in the case notes, write a transfer letter to the community nurse, community health center, Marubra, outlining relevant information and requesting continued community care.
Okay, thank you. See, using the information in the case note, we have to write a transfer letter to the community nurse, community health center, Marubra, outlining relevant information and requesting continued community care. As I always say, after requesting, what comes? Continued community care. So actually, you have to look for the word requesting and for, because usually after that comes the purpose.
Okay.
Requesting continued care. It requires your continued care. So please look out for that. It helps you to identify the purpose very easily. Okay. Now, I've written a lot of letters related to community nurse, addressed to community nurse. But actually, what exactly is the community health service include? What are their job roles? Their service, community health services, they mainly deal with their services are mainly delivered in the people's home, including care homes, also in community hospitals, care facilities, clinics, and schools. So these are the basic areas where the community health services are provided. I was just briefing you regarding their roles, okay? So that you get a better. Yeah. Now let's go to the reading notes. Can you read from the beginning till the diagnosis? Okay, one of you read.
You are the registered nurse who has been caring for an elderly patient named Philip Satchel. Mr. Satchel now requires further management and care at another facility. Patient status, wife deceased 40, age 73, family, 2 sons in their 40s in Darwin. First attended community center March 2015. Last visits to community center February 2018. Diagnosis: multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, chronic left and right leg ulcers.
Thank you. I just quickly read that. Registered nurse. Please underline that, because when you sign off, you can write, just copy this as a title. You don't have to waste time on that. Okay. Who has been caring, which means the care has started since quite some time back, isn't it? Who has been caring for an elderly patient named Philip Sachet. Philip Sachet now requires, and what does he require now? Further management care at another facility. So now connect it with the writing task. We are writing to a community nurse in the community health center in Marobra. Why? Requesting continued care and further management. At another facility, then from that we can understand that this patient or the registered nurse is writing for the patient, Philip Sachel, in some other area. But now, shortly, he will be moving to Marobra. So, this community nurse is writing to the community health nurse in Marobra. Did you all understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, let's see why he is moving to Marobra. Because it clearly says that this patient needs further management and care in Marobra. Let's see why he is moving from this present center to another place. Now, read the letter. Yeah, I'll just say the patient's name is Philip Sachet and his marital status is wife deceased. And the age is 73, family, 2 sons, and David. First attended community center, which means it is clearly written in the notes that You are a registered nurse who has been caring, which means it is quite some time back since this patient has been visiting this community center. So first attended community center 2015 community center.
Okay.
And the last visit is to the community center is 2018.
Okay.
Okay. The diagnosis, they have given 3 diagnoses. One is multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, chronic leg and right ulcer, left and right leg ulcers. Okay, so when you get 3 like this, what do you write as a chief diagnosis? That is again a question. Let's finish reading the letter to get a better clarity. Okay.
Okay.
Baicho, can I read it for me, please?
Social or medical background, current, lives alone in public housing in Orange, previous lived with deceased spouse.
Okay.
Patient details, will move to equivalent housing in Marobra to
increase access
for multiple sclerosis treatment. Income, small pension, poor compliance with oral diabetic agents and diabetic diet. Multiple sclerosis currently stable but frequent relapses. 2 to 3 out of 12 months Staphylococcus aureus infections. In leg ulcers, pus present. Lonely and isolated, but nil mental illness. Good relations with sons, but rarely see them. They run a pet shop business.
Okay, thanks. Let's stop for the time being. Now, social background. Currently, this patient, where does he live? The patient lives alone in public housing in Orange. Previously, lived with deceased spouse. Patient details, will move to equivalent housing. Public housing in Orange category housing lot where in Marobra. For increase access for MS treatment, which means the purpose of his transfer is very clearly given here, isn't it? Why is he moving?
Yes.
He is moving to Marobra to get increased access for MS treatment. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then this says that his income is small pension, poor compliance. See, here, when you look at the diagnosis, you see that there are main 3 types of issues. One is multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, and chronic left and right leg ulcers. So here in this letter, when we read, we can understand that all the material are mixed up. It is kind of, it is not organized. So it is your duty to organize it so that it helps you to write the letter properly. So now assume that there are 3 columns. One column is for multiple sclerosis, and the next column is for type 2 diabetes, and the next is for chronic leg ulcers. Okay? Assume that you place one after the other. In fact, I want you to write it down. Multiple sclerosis information otherwise you'll get mixed up with everything. Okay. So now I'm going to read poor compliance with oral diabetic agents and diabetic diet. Under which heading should it come? Should it come under multiple sclerosis or type 2 diabetes or leg ulcers?
Type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. So you make a note of that, okay?
Okay.
Next, MS currently stable but frequent relapses. So under where should it come?
Multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. 2 to 3 months out of the 12 total months. Now the Shikana. Okay. Staphylococcus aureus infections in leg ulcers with increased pus. Where should that come?
Leg ulcer.
Leg ulcer.
Yeah, it should come under the chronic leg ulcers, isn't it? So did you understand how to place the information? Because that helps in you in writing the letter and organizing it beautifully. Lonely and isolated, but nil mental illness. Good relations with sons, but rarely see them. They run a pet shop business. Here you have a lot of information, which is you should not write everything, but you only have to write the main thing. Here, what can be written? Lonely and isolated, he has good relations with sons. Actually, you can use all that. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, when you get see a lot of information, you pick up the whole thing and write it like a story, but instead you have to only highlight what is important. Okay. Now let's do the next one: nursing management and progress. Read it.
Nursing management and progress. Medications, IV antibiotics twice daily and metformin for diabetes 3 times per day. Twice daily dressings to left and right legs. Monitored blood sugar levels, medication complaints, and provide education. Diabetes. Constantly monitored for signs of multiple sclerosis relapse.
Okay, thank you. Let's hold on. Nursing
Okay.
management and progress. They say it's written that medications or IV antibiotics twice daily. What is that for? Under which heading should that?
For ulcer.
Leg ulcers.
Yeah, for ulcers. So place that under that category. Okay. And metformin for diabetes 3 times per day. Where should that come?
Type 2 diabetes.
Keep that under diabetes. Okay. Twice daily dressing to left and right legs. Where should that be placed?
Ulcer.
Under leg
Right, left and.
Okay. Monitored blood sugar levels, medication compliance, and provided education on diabetes. Where should that come?
Type 2 diabetes.
Type 2 diabetes.
Constantly monitored for signs of MS relapse. Where should that be placed?
Multiple sclerosis.
Multiple sclerosis.
So now did you get an idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But for exam, I don't know how much you can write it and transfer it to another page, but probably you could use different colors, or you could at least make a note. Under multiple sclerosis, probably you can make a tick. And under diabetes, you can put a star. And chronic leg ulcer, you could put a circle. And then everything what comes connected, you can put the same sign, so that you make sure that everything is included in the letter. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, there is you get mixed up, you may miss out on a lot of information. Okay, now read the transfer plan.
Switch to oral antibiotics, but continue same diabetic medications and dressings. Please refer to Prince of Wales Diabetic Clinic, medication review plus
Let's increase
education. Increase education. Via your doctors, facilitate referral to neurologists for multiple sclerosis follow-up. Support to link with the community services to increase coping and social network.
Okay, so the transfer plan, see, now he is on antibiotics currently, which needs to be changed to oral antibiotics. But at the same diabetic medication should be continued along with the dressing. And please refer to Prince of Wales Diabetic Clinic. See, when you get such a name of a clinic or a hospital, you should not change it. You have to just copy and paste the same thing. Why? For medication review plus giving education, diabetic education. Via your doctors, with the help of your doctors, facilitate referral to neurologists for MS follow-up. Support to link with community services. Why? To increase coping meaning adjusting, and social network, meaning to increase the social contacts. Community service on the connected. That is what they have written. Why? Because when you look at the patient's details, we have said, it's seen, no, he is lonely and isolated in the Varanda. So probably that is the reason why it is important to connect him to the community services to increase the social network. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now that we have finished, now can you read the writing task once again for better clarity?
Using the information in the case notes, write a transfer letter to the community nurse, community health center, Marovara, outlining relevant information and requesting continued community care.
Now, did you get a better idea? We know that this person, this registered nurse who's attending this patient, the community health center, is writing to a community health center in Marobara. Why? Because this patient is being transferred for better access from MS treatment. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And the purpose is also very clear. Requesting continued care. When even the notes you see, he now requires further management. So the purpose is also very clear, isn't it? Once you read the letter, our next task is to filter the what is important, what is less important, and what is to be avoided. Can you tell me what are the important information required here? Barne. Registered nurse.
Registered.
Registered.
Because otherwise there's a chance for you to wait and waste time looking for that. You should not waste time on that.
Requires further management care at another facility.
Yeah, that is also
Then
Philip
patient
Satchel.
name and age.
patient's name and age. Okay. Pinne.
First attended community center. Last visit community center. Diagnosis.
Yeah, diagnosis. So can I ask you, we write the chief diagnosis, isn't it, in the introduction. Now, what do you think? What is the main reason, or what should be written in the introduction as a main reason for this transfer?
Multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, it is to get better access to multiple sclerosis treatment. So
Multiple sclerosis.
that should be written. Okay, it is enough to write that alone in the introduction. The rest can be expanded in the following paragraphs. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. What about social background?
Leaves alone.
Then what coming to the patient's details? What do you write? And
All important.
Yeah, you find it all important. Probably
Yes.
we can avoid
Yes.
income or pension. Probably
Okay, income small.
Okay.
That is not needed.
It says about all the three diagnoses. And what about the last line? Lonely and isolated.
വേണ്ട അത് മാത്രം. Lonely and isolated we can write.
Then what else?
Good relationship with sons.
The son.
That also can be said. Okay. Though he has good with sons, കാര്യം നല്ല relation ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൂടി he experiences loneliness. അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞാലും മതി. Now, coming to the next one, nursing management. What are important?
All important, ma'am.
Everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about the transfer plan?
This remember.
Everything is important.
Yes, everything.
Yeah. So, so now let's begin. Can you help me with the address part? See, now did you notice something? Have they mentioned any specific date as such? Will a date
No.
date?
No.
The only dates are the years March 2015 and 2018, which clearly says that is the year when this patient first attended the community center and last visit. So in that case, what do you write as the date of the letter? What do you write?
Exam date.
Exam date.
Yeah. The day you are appearing for the exam, that date should be written as the current date. Okay. Please remember, no dates are mentioned. Please write that way. Okay. So let's start with the address part. Can you tell me?
The community nurse. Community health center. Marabara.
Okay. And what about the date? You write today's date, isn't it? Then what is the salutation?
Dear nurse.
Dear nurse is good enough. Dear nurse. Then what about the rest?
Reference Mr. Philip Satchel, aged 73.
Comma, age 73.
73.
I shall show you the address part. Did you see the slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Clear? Now come back.
Yes.
Now what is the next job? You have to write the introduction part, isn't it? What do you write? What are the points to remember in the introduction? Because we should not waste time on introduction. Can you tell me? You've done so many letters.
Patient name, purpose, context, diagnosis.
Yeah, all these has to be mentioned. Okay. So based on all that, can you help me with the introduction first?
Mr. Philip Satchel requires continued care and management at your facility, as he is moving to Marobara for increased access to multiple sclerosis treatment.
Or for better access. No. Okay. So in that case, we can write like this. Mr. Philip Sashil, name of the patient, for I'm on a purpose. Requesting continued community care. Mr. Sashil requires further management. So if you want, you can write together. So Mr. Sashil requires continued care and management at your facility as he is moving to Marobra for better access to multiple sclerosis treatment. Okay? Clear with everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So we finished the introduction part. Now we're going to the body. What do you write in the body? We know that this case, can you tell me, is it a known case or an unknown case?
Unknown case.
Yeah. So definitely it is good to make note of the background, which means this patient has been attending our center since 2015 for the treatment of multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, and leg ulcers. It is good if you mention that, isn't it? So after that, after mentioning that, then let's go to the situation, which is then you write about the leg ulcers in detail, about the type 2 diabetes together, and about the multiple sclerosis also. Okay, let's start that way. Can you help me with that? Can one of you tell me?
Mr. Satchel has been attending our center since March 2015 for the treatment of multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, and chronic ulcers on both legs.
Then after, so we have written the background saying that this patient has been attending our center for all these treatment. Mr. Sashil has been attending our center. Has been. Why? Why do I write has been? Because he started
started in the past and still continue.
Continue.
അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ has been എഴുതുന്നത്. Mr. Sashil has been attending our center since March 2015 for the treatment of multiple sclerosis, type 2 diabetes, and
chronic ulcers on both legs.
Okay, then shall we write about, say, the leg ulcers in particular, immediately after that? How do you write? So let's look at the information. When you look at the patient's details, and the nursing management, what are the case notes related to leg ulcers? So, 2 to 3 out of 12 Staphylococcus aureus infection. Isn't it? Isn't that related to ulcers? Where related to leg ulcers again?
Antibiotic therapy.
IV
And
antibiotic.
dressing.
And
twice dressing.
Isn't it? So all these has to be clubbed together when you write about the leg ulcers. Can you tell me with that?
For the past 3 months, his leg ulcers have been infected with the Staphylococcus aureus, for which he is on intravenous antibiotics and dressing twice daily on both legs.
Okay. So here in the second paragraph, how did we begin? We begin by saying that he has been attending our center for the treatment of these, and then immediately along with that, we can write about the leg ulcers. Over the last 3 months, his leg ulcers have been infected with Staphylococcus aureus, for which he is on IV antibiotics.
And dressing.
Twice daily. Okay? I'll just show you show you the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What are the next 2 things we need to write? We have finished
Type
about
2 diabetes and
Type 2 diabetes and
multiple
sclerosis.
Now, for the first body paragraph, or the second paragraph is quite long. Also, we can finish up there and then we'll start a fresh paragraph again, okay? Where we can write both about the diabetes and the MS together. So, what are the information related to diabetes? Let's sort out.
It's on metformin.
Yeah, he's on metformin. See, one other number, patient details. Poor compliance with oral diabetes and diabetic diet. That will come under the diabetes, isn't it?
Diabetic too, yes.
പിന്നെ വേറെ എന്തൊക്കെയാ അതിനകത്തുള്ള Okay, now let's come to
Blood sugar, monitoring blood
Blood
sugar,
sugar.
that's in the next
education.
paragraph.
education.
Yeah. So after that, metformin on diabetes, for diabetes, and monitored blood sugar levels, medication compliance, and provided education on diabetes. So these are the information we have related to diabetes. But if you look at this order, ഇവിടെ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന poor compliance with oral diabetic agents now. പിന്നെ nursing ആണ് പറയുന്നത് metformin. So I think it is good to rearrange. You can actually start off by saying that this person is on metformin for diabetes and then say that he has poor compliance. Okay. Therefore, his blood sugar has been monitored. All that. So you can rearrange. Sometimes in the letter, the information is not organized in the proper way. So it is your duty to structure it again according to the priority. Okay. So can you help me with that? Say, talk about the diabetes.
Mr. Satchel has had type 2 diabetics and is on metformin, but has poor medical compliance. Therefore, along with the close monitoring of blood sugar levels, he has also been educated regarding diabetics, drugs, and diet.
Okay. So here actually, if we want the word count, isn't it? Otherwise, we can talk about the metformin and its frequency also, 3 times per day. All that you can mention. Okay. So can someone help me with all that? Tell me a little more in detail. Yeah, you can write like this. See, actually what she said was right, except for a little bit of information. Mr. Satchel has been on metformin. And the frequency would go thrice daily. 3 times per day, thrice daily for diabetes. But has poor compliance with diabetic diet and medication. Actually, you can expand it that way, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Therefore, along with close monitoring of blood sugar levels, he has also been educated regarding diabetic drug and diet. So I think with that, we have completed all the information related to diabetes, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Did everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, what is left out?
Multiple sclerosis.
What are the
Sclerosis.
information related to multiple sclerosis given in the letter? And the patient details and the
Currently stable.
MS currently stable, but frequent relapse.
Frequent relapses.
Then what is mentioned about multiple sclerosis in the next paragraph?
Constantly monitor.
Signs of relapse.
For signs of MS relapse. So can you club together and tell me?
Even though his multiple sclerosis is currently stable, he has frequent relapses which has been constantly monitored.
Yeah. So you can connect this and say, see, because it's clearly said that MS currently stable but frequent relapses. MS currently stable anengil kudi edakekku relapse vararundu. So it is good to use even though or though his multiple sclerosis is currently stable, comma, he has frequent relapses which has been constantly monitored. That's constant monitor cheyapadunundu. That is how you write it. Okay. So in the introduction, we finished off. We finished the first paragraph with the introduction. Then we came to the second paragraph. We talked about the background, and then we mentioned the leg ulcers also. In the third paragraph, we write about the diabetes and the MS together. Clear with everyone? I will share the screen. Clear with everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's see. What have we missed again? Now what should we write? We know that this patient is new to the community nurse in Marobra. So it is good if you write a little about the social background also. So can we write on that? Social background information
lonely and isolated patient details.
Social background current lives alone.
Yeah.
Lonely and isolated, good relations with sons. So can you club and tell me all that? How? Wife deceased, widower. Okay, can you tell me like that?
Mr. Satchel
Mm.
is a widower
Mm.
who lives alone.
Okay.
Though he has good relation with his son, he feels lonely and isolated.
Son alla, sons. രണ്ടുപേരുണ്ട്.
Sons.
Okay, good relations with sons. Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം Mr. Satchel, a widower, lives alone. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ Mr. Satchel is a widower who lives alone.
Mm.
So, കാര്യം അയാൾക്ക് നല്ല റിലേഷൻഷിപ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ട്, പിള്ളേരായിട്ട് നല്ല റിലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൂടി he experiences loneliness. That is what you have to write, isn't it? So, though
Yes.
he has good relations with sons,
Relationship with his
വേണമെന്നില്ല, with sons,
with son.
yeah, he experiences loneliness. That is enough. See, look at the screen. See, this is not the only way of writing. Provided there are no grammar errors. But please make a note, when there's a tendency to write a lot of unwanted details in the social background.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we have finished with the now screen through the letter. What have you missed out? Have you missed out anything important? What is to be written again? In enda nammal miss aayittulladu enda?
Plan.
Yeah, let's write about the plan now.
It would be appreciated if you could facilitate a neurological consultation in Marobra for his multiple sclerosis.
Okay. It is fine if you rearrange it. Okay, the transfer plan will be given in such a way that sometimes you need to organize it properly, because they might talk about the medication complaints at the beginning. They might talk about the name of the hospital or where he has to be referred in the next following lines. But if you want, you can rearrange according to the priority.
Okay.
Yeah. So since he's come for this MS, you can, if you want, you can write like this. That's fine. Okay, what next? Tell me.
Then we
Kindly
can
refer
talk
to
about diabetic.
Prince of Wales.
Prince of Wales.
One at a time. Can you tell me?
Kindly refer him to Prince of Wales Diabetic Clinic
Indira.
for medication review and diabetic education.
Okay. Now can another person tell me?
He needs to continue diabetic medications, dressing, along with the oral antibiotics.
Yeah, good. Now what is left out?
Join
community service.
So what do you say?
Joining community services.
അതെങ്ങനെ
Be socially. It would be benefit from joining community service to be socially active.
Kindly encourage him to join community services to increase coping and social network. You can summarize and say to increase his social network, to be socially active. Or we can say he would benefit he would benefit from joining community services and then to be socially active.
To be socially active.
Because it is very clearly mentioned that he feels lonely and isolated, isn't it? So it is good if you mention that. Clear? So yeah, all I've said your own style. It's good. You can write in your own way, but definitely mention everything. Kindly refer Mr. Satchel to Prince of Wales Diabetic Clinic for medication review and diabetic education. That is how I've written. He needs to continue diabetic medication, dressings, along with oral antibiotics. He needs expert neurological consultation in Marobra for MS. He would benefit from joining community services to be socially active. Okay, and then how do you, in the last, so now just look through the letter. Have you missed out anything? Screen through the letter. I think we have covered everything, isn't it?
Yeah, we covered.
So when in such a letter, when you get a very confused letter where the information is scattered here and there, what do you write? Put a note of that. You tick as you write information, you tick and go. Okay, make sure that you've written. Okay, now ending the letter, what do you write?
If you have any queries, please do contact me.
Yeah, if you have any queries, please contact me.
Please
And then
contact.
sign off. Here, look at the letter, writing task. But I'm gonna sign off.
Yours faithfully, registered nurse.
Registered nurse is clearly given in the notes. And why do you write yours faithfully? എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുതരാമോ?
Reader's
There
name
is
not
no
written.
given.
The reader's name is not given, isn't it? But so
Yes.
here it is addressed to the community nurse. So we can write yours faithfully. Otherwise, if the reader's name is given, what do you write?
Yours
Yours
sincerely.
sincerely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just show you that. Please do not hesitate to contact me. It's typer error. You're faithfully registered now. Thank you. Did you all understand the letter?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So I know this letter is quite confusing. At the same time, it's a very good letter. Because why? Because the information are scattered here and there. That is why I told you to categorize it into 3. Okay. So
Yes,
please
ma'am.
make note of that. And I hope you all will give your letters for corrections. So thank you.